What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the Cover Price Top 10. You know what? Since I've had these braces, I've had this lisp and I've been missing out on speaking Spanish. So, oye, chicos and chicas, bienvenidos de la Lords of the Long Box. That sounds horrible, but,
That was good.
Yeah.
Shakers.
Oye, yo, chico. All right, yeah. While you guys are congregating and bash my Spanish, let's get you something for you to congregate to. We haven't played this in a while.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa,
Love it every single time. For the comments in the live chat, first of all, Laura, say what's good to people.
Hey guys, yeah, I missed being here on Tuesday, so I'm excited to be here tonight. We have a cool list.
JB, the Fedora Man, say what's good.
Yeah. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Shakers Show. We got a really great list for you. It's probably an for list, but still, it's going to be a fun one. Make sure you're hanging out, and if you're watching on the rewind, make sure you're commenting what your favorite cover was below after the show to be entered into next Tuesday's giveaway.
Yep.
Ooh.
And there'll be a giveaway tonight.
If you're in the live right now, pay attention to TiVo because he's going to ask a question, a random question during the show, and someone in the live is going to win this book right here. This amazing Spider-Man 900 1 in 50 variant is going to go out to somebody in the chat.
Very nice.
For those who said I sounded Italian, yeah, I think I mixed my Spanish accent with the Argentinian accent, with the Castilian accent, with the Puerto Rican accent. So, you know, what are you going to do? Here's a phrase that they say in Spanish, in Spain. That's a really, really bad curse word. They don't say it here in Mexico, but they say it in Spain. So put it on your earmuffs if you have kids around. Me cago en la puta madre.
Yeah. I understood madre, something about your mother.
And it also has to do with poop.
Oh, no. So good.
Me cago en la puta madre. You gotta say it like that in Spain. All right, this show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go to your price guides, collections, and trends. The top 10 list every Tuesday, and this Thursday on the Shaker Show. If you're on podcasts, Alexa, play Lords of the Long Box podcast on Spotify. The show is proudly sponsored by our friends over at Bird City Comics. Use discount code LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Bird City Comics store. Nothing's dropping this Friday, but I'm pretty sure we'll have something next week.
For sure. Yes, next week.
Yeah, Flora said it. It's true. So let's get right to it, boys and girls. This is the CovrPrice, or excuse me, this is the this list comes from CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. So after these 10, they're all in alphabetical order. We're going to see what's shaking today. So you get a chance to answer the question and win some stuff. We're in a giving mood all year round. You know what I mean? All year round. And it's Valentine's Day too. So throw roses at you, whatever. I don't care. All right, let's get to it. What is our first shaker?
Man, check this one out. All right. Kick off the show. We've got the Astounding Wolfman, issue number 16, the Dale Keown 1 in 25 variant, originally published in 2009 from Image. Now, this just missed last week's report with a massive price of $1,200 for a CGC 9.8. This was such a crazy sale that we just needed to bring it onto this week's list. Clearly, Robert Kirkman's Astounding Wolfman series is not nearly as successful as The Walking Dead or Invincible. However, the series does have its fans, and those fans love it. Now, the variants available are few and far between for this low printed series, and a 1 in 25 is near impossible ratio for most stores in 2009. Add in the fact that it's done by one of the industry greats, Dale Keown, and you can already get a sense of why collectors might want it. Just look at it. It's amazing. Add in the fact that there are only 3 copies on the CGC census, with this being the only 9.8. While the census doesn't always mean scarcity, it could mean that nobody wants to grade it, but it does help show that this is not an easy book to find.
What a cover, too. Look at that.
Well, since you invoked the name of Robert Kirkman, I think he has a message for you guys.
I'm Robert Kirkman. Keep digging in those long boxes.
Cool.
Now you like them apples. I got Run DMC to do it too. I'm at DMC. I got to do it too back in the day when we were going to shows. So yeah, I actually ran into Robert Kirkman at my LCS. He walked in with Rob Liefeld and somebody else, and I was like, "Oh, that's Kirkman." I was like, I recognize him. Yeah, so pretty cool.
I've heard he's a really cool dude too, very approachable.
Yeah, he's very, very chill. Very chill. He's not like he's not like Liefeld, you know what I mean? So shout out to everything you do for us, Rob. Sorry, I invoked his name. Okay. Let's get right to the next one. What do we have for the second shaker as I scroll through my myriad of graphics? Oh, old school.
This is seamless.
All right, we got Batman 156. We knew there was going to be a lot of DC this week, so here we go. This is from 1963. This fantastic early Batman book just hit an all-time high sale. Not just that, but the biggest sale in our database. After a long absence from the market, a CGC 9.0 copy popped up and quickly sold for $3,840. That surpasses literally every other sale we have on record, including the last all-time high, which was also in a CGC 9.0 for $2,880. Both surpassed the top grade on record, a CGC 9.4, which sold for $2,031 back in 2012. While the stories within inspired the cover for this awesome book, it truly is the cover that steals the show. It features Batman carrying a dead Robin, a waking nightmare left over from a voluntary psychological experiment gone awry. It has gone on to inspire numerous storylines and homages, including most recently in the pages of Batman number 125. Some say it may have been done to death, but that didn't stop a collector from dropping big money to acquire this early Batman gem. And if you guys are curious, the cover here is done by both Sheldon Moldoff and Charles Paris.
Hey, Apollo,
are you knowledge?
Hey Apollo, are you still a professional wrestler, man? Because I think at one point you were a professional wrestler. So shout out to Apollo Cruz, man. I think that's him. He's got a check mark, so I'm pretty sure that's him. But he pops in every now and then. So Batman number 156 from 1963, $3,800. Well, 3,840 to be exact. In the CCC 9.0. Good lord, that is
So first of all, you got great colors. You got 1963. You got high grade from 1963. It's a PA to cover, and then you got Miss Laura dropping the knowledge on the artist of the cover. Great work, man. Great work.
come on now. It's the Shakers. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, what do you
That's
expect?
that's how we do.
Exactly.
Let's go back even further, or maybe same amount of time.
No, this is
even
actually
yeah.
earlier. Can you believe it? All right. Next up, we've got 4-color issue 656, originally published in 1955 from Dell. Not only does this book feature a fantastic classic cover, but it is also the second appearance of Turok, Son of Stone. Appearing nearly a year after his first appearance in 4-color 596, writer Gaylor Dubois was determined to bring attention to this previously underutilized character. Well, he succeeded, with this book being his final appearance before receiving his own title in Turok, Son of Stone, issue number 3. That spawned countless depictions, including a run of over 100+ issues, and what most are familiar with, the video game that has stretched numerous generations of consoles and gamers alike. The point is, Turok has its fans, with one recently spending $1,560 to secure a CGC 9.4, the highest grade sold in our records. Now, the previous high grade was a sale of a CGC 9.0 for $600 way back in 2019. Now, being a book from 1955, high-grade copies are tough to come by, with only 2 9.4 copies on the census, with the only higher grade being 2 9.6s. Well, it's a nice consolation prize for those aiming to acquire a key Turok book, but it may not be for long. With this sale, it's quickly catching up to the high sale of $2,021 for a CGC 9.2 of Turok's first appearance. It's almost there, man. You're only 500.
Yeah, I remember the Valiant series, and I had back then I had no idea that it was a golden age book. Interesting enough, I wonder who owns the IP for Turok, because this would be great for
Is that one of those things that's opened up now? I mean, I feel like all these early 50s properties are now like, well, look what happened to Pooh. When did he come out?
Yeah, exactly.
Look what they did to Winnie the Pooh, man.
Yeah, and the Grinch too, and then Cocaine Bear. Winnie the Pooh is nobody owns the IP, so you can do anything you want with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that happened over a period of time, and then I wonder if Turok's open season yet. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Matt, if you're in our live chat, when we were at WonderCon last year, we met the dude who bought the Dell intellectual property. And, I was trying to ask him, and, what do you have? Obviously, he doesn't have a lot of them that were done by other people. But he has a lot of the Dell IP that he was trying to sell, shop around. What's interesting is that now, it'd be curious to see, what they do with it. I think, people are just going saying, hey, man, there's gold in them there hills. Let's go and find intellectual property that's not being used, and let's do it. Winnie the Pooh wasn't that a horror? It was a horror film or some crazy shit, right?
Originally, really?
No, there was a new one.
I'm just saying, now that the property's open, they've just cannibalized Winnie the Pooh. He's doing all kinds of crazy shit now.
Horror Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. All right. 4-color issue 656 from October 1st, 1955. Seems like a steal for $1,560 for a 9.4, right? God, that's some time machine shit
Not
right
bad.
there, man. Well,
Mhm.
Turok does go in time, I guess, so it's apropos. All right, what do we got up next?
I'm so excited about this one. This is Hack Slash, the series number 14. Jenny Frison did the cover B by Devil's Due Publishing back in 2008. Over the past year, Jenny Frison has risen the ranks from an unknown artist to one of the industry's best. She's one of today's most popular cover artists, and her fan base only seems to grow alongside her. When an artist hits this level of popularity, collectors want their first published work, first cover, etc. And lucky for us, this Hack Slash variant is both her first cover and officially commissioned comic art. Now here's where it gets a little fuzzy. There's been some online debate over Jenny Frison's first, as her variant for Voltron, A Legend Forged in 2008, was originally hailed as her first. The debate lies in this. Voltron was published first, but Hack Slash was commissioned and finished first and was released just a few weeks after. Either way, sellers are listing both now as first Jenny Frison work, which continues to cause market confusion, while Voltron continues to outvalue it, with the last sale of 504 for a CGC 9.4. Hack Slash is catching as seen by this week's new high of 425 for a CGC 9.6. It's important to remember that artists are investable and it pays to do research and catch their first works early. For more Frison information, including these covers, check out Nearing Nirvana's show dedicated to Jenny, and TiVo will drop the link in the chat. So yes, technically she was commissioned to do this one first, but Voltron came out first. So what do you guys think? Where's your vote?
I'm gonna go with this one. I mean, her style has changed dramatically from 2008, right? Geez, you put me on the spot here to drop your link. Hold on.
You're fine.
I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it.
Oh, he has it. He has it. No, I'm more partial to her newer stuff. I wouldn't have thought this was a Frison by looking at it if you wouldn't have said.
Which show was it?
Definitely different. Here, Tiva, I think I got it actually.
But I can see how collectors are passionate that way. They need, first interior art, the first covers, first, I think this guy wrote a note that got published in a comic book somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, people find anything nowadays. So here you go. I'm gonna put
my
in
vote personally is I would go with Voltron. It was published first.
Here's
even though this one was
link.
commissioned first, but the other one was published first. So I would go with Voltron, and I personally just like that cover better. That one looks like Jenny, whereas this one, I agree with JB, doesn't really have that same feel to it as what you're used to her having.
Here's the link to our sister channel near Nirvana. Go check out their Jenny Frison. Is it Frison or Frison?
Frison.
Frozone?
Why are you gonna mess with her like that, man? This is like a running joke right now. Is that what this is?
I don't know. Every show, it's like somebody's name is like, man, we got to figure it out. And then
that's why we just leave it open. You just let
JB's got one that's
blank,
coming up too. All right, so Hack Slash series, the series number 14, Jenny Frison, cover B.
Yep.
All right. Here's an interesting one.
This one's very interesting. This is an interesting story. All right, next up, number 5 on the list, we've got He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, issue number 1, the Maddie Collector variant, originally published in 2013. Now, this variant was originally offered by Mattel and DC Comics in 2013 with the upfront purchase of a 1-year subscription to the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe comic series at $24.99 for 12 issues. Now, the subscription had to be purchased directly from DC's website. And in 2013, comic book print runs were starting to bounce back, yet this Masters of the Universe series was still a niche book, with only diehard fans picking up the entire series. While some additional nostalgic fans may have picked up the first issue or so, very few were buying the whole run sight unseen. Today, this now seems like a fantastic price. 13 total books for $24.99, and one of those is a rare exclusive? Yeah, please. So obtaining this variant was exceptionally difficult, needless to say. Since 2013, copies have floated into the aftermarket and sold for anywhere between 30 to $100. However, as seen with this week's new high of $134 for a VF raw, its scarcity is beginning to show as more collectors hold on to this. It doesn't help that more collectors of toy variants are also growing. And it's worth noting that Mattel and DC did this one more time with another Mattel toy variant for He-Man Eternity War in 2014. The exact same parameters applied, but this time way fewer collectors purchased the full subscription. And that book is one of the many rare Masters of the Universe variants out there.
This one is pretty cool because they literally just look like the action figures, right? I mean,
Yeah, those are the action figures, man, aren't they?
It's just a photo, right?
Yeah, that's a photo of the action figures at play. Yeah.
Hey, is Nimesh Patel is he the your subscriber to your channel, Nirvana, who drops $50 super chats?
Yeah, we call him our benefactor.
I'm just saying, Nimesh, spread the love around. I'm just saying, but
So yeah, I think anybody asking, for you to buy the entire year in advance, $24.99 for those 12 issues, and then you get this extra free bonus one. I can't see a lot of people doing that sight unseen, right? I'm going, yeah, you know what? Give me the whole year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so, man.
So He-Man and Masters of the Universe Matty collector variant from DC in 2013. 134 for a raw dog. Interesting. Never seen this in the bottom of my life, but what else? All right. Let's get it's time to punish you guys.
Yay. All right. Marvel Super Action #1 from 19.
Hold on a second. Because I asked nicely. Thank you, Manesh Patel. It wasn't 50, but we'll take the 25. We appreciate it. Yeah.
I apologize, Namesh. And I just
unbelievable, Timo.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you, Namesh. We love you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome to the channel, Nimesh Patel. We really appreciate.
Yo, he drops mad coin on near Nirvana, you know what I mean? So
because they deserve it.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Get over there, everybody in this chat right now. If you're not watching the near Nirvana, you get over there and understand what's going on.
All right.
Yeah, right. Where are you guys? We're putting on shows.
Let's get right to it. Did you already read this?
Oh yeah, Marvel Super Action issue Action #1 from 1976. This classic Punisher cover is just too fun to look at. A depiction from a time long past that rarely gets a chance at the spotlight. Recently, it got that chance as this book managed to sell for $1,500 in a CGC 9.8, absolutely blowing out its previous high sale of $695 in a CGC 9.6 back in 2021. Even more impressive, when ungraded books in that reported grade last sold for $55. The reason is the premium put upon such high grades, due to the fact that this book was somewhat of an experiment for Marvel, as they dropped this one shot for Punisher before shifting to Captain America in regular comic format. This book was released in a magazine format and a black cover, making it a tough book to keep mint. It told the origin of the Punisher, a character that rapidly developed a fan base that was searching for the reason the Punisher ticks, and picked this book up like crazy. Imagine picking that up as a newsstand or a grocery store and keeping it in great shape. Admittedly tough, but someone managed it and sold it for quite the sum.
I think this all Punisher books are going to be exploding. Once the Feige effect takes over. What's his name? The guy that plays him. What's his name? John Bernthal comes back as a Punisher. Make it R-rated. I don't care. But do it. You know what I mean?
I think this is a fantastic cover, but just the size, I don't like the magazine size because they don't fit in the boxes. I don't have the right supplies for them. Every time I get one, I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing now?
Yeah, I have
But the cover's fantastic.
I have the Punisher #1 magazine that came out. I found it at a used bookstore, and there were just like 5 copies. So I just bought them all. They were $1 each. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll buy them. Shoot, why not? Marvel Super Action issue #1 from January 1976, $1,500 in a 9.8. I think both DC and Marvel need to bring back magazine size comics. They do it every now and then, but come
Thanks,
on,
babe.
I don't like them.
yeah, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu and all those other ones. The horror ones. They're great. And you can buy bags and boards from them, JB.
I appreciate that, Batmite, but what am I going to buy 25 bags for my one magazine? Come on.
Well,
man.
that means the incentive is to buy more magazines, right?
Right, easy peasy. Yeah,
Goals, baby, goals.
If you bought a set of 25, and I know you did, go ahead and send me a couple because I know you didn't use them all.
Yeah.
And
all
there
right,
was
so
a big
Marvel's
ECW magazine box, so the chat's letting us know on that too.
Thanks.
Yeah,
the
there are
chat's
magazine
just lighting
boxes.
me up
Yes,
right
there
now. I
is.
appreciate you.
Marvel Super Action issue #1 from January 1976, $1,500 for a 9.8. All right, here is something interesting. This is really relatively new, pretty damn new.
Yeah, this is really new. Shout out to the 125 in the live chat right now. If you are enjoying the show, do take a moment to hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. All right, next up, we've got Static, Shadows of Dakota, issue #1, the Olivier Coipel foil variant, the 1 in 100 foil variant. Just came out, I think. Now, this gorgeous Coipel variant flew under the radar for many and has only increased as the week has gone by. One copy put up the market flare by selling for the $100 ratio on February 1st. Since then, only a handful of copies have come to market, selling for anywhere between $160 to $185. Now, Static has a strong fan base that seems to be growing, as is the popularity of the Dakotaverse character in general. This is a book to keep an eye on, as some of these weekly hot books, they dip in price over time. Now, this particular variant does have many things in its favor for sustaining, though. Mainly the fact that how many retailers ordered 100 copies of this, man? Come on. Only time will tell, but either way, it's a stunning cover by Coipel.
Can I weigh in here a little bit? We just covered this character on Nearing Nirvana on Friday. We had Tamiko from Black Comic Lords with us. Interesting show if you guys didn't get the
Shout out
chance
to
to
Black
catch
Comic
it.
Lords.
Yeah, like
Shout
it
out.
was such a good show, and I learned so much. Like when this book first came into be, like back in 1993, you had this full team of African American creators that wanted to rectify the fact that there wasn't much representation for minorities. Static wasn't the first, but he was the first to have his own solo series. And little fact here, his name, Virgil Hawkins, he was actually named after a real life person back in 1949 that was rejected at the University of Florida, rejected admission due to his race. And so that's where his name came from.
Yeah, so I mean, Static comes from the DC world of what were they called? Was it the Icon world or I forgot the name.
Dakotaverse?
Milestone. Thank you, Frankie Gonzalez.
Milestone, sorry.
Yeah, Milestone. So, and they introduced a whole slew of African American characters and characters of color, to be honest with you, and for its time, and then it just went away. And then, I want to say a year or two ago, they were on that DC fandom thing. Remember that thing, that DC fandom thing?
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they're going to bring it back. They're going to bring back the universe with different things. Hopefully they do. Static was a lot of kids love Static. Because the universe of that it encompasses. Static was more like for younger people, and then there was like Icon, who was more violent and older, and it was like I still have a Static Shock or whatever, the one with the plastic blue bag on it. I'm trying.
The polybag. Yeah, there was static number 1 with the polybag.
Yeah, I still have it, and it's still in the bag. Yeah, I got it for $5 at the at the what was it? The Bakersfield Comic-Con, which was
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield Comic-Con, which is a shit show. But me and my boy Swoverine rolled up in there, and we were like, we found a couple deals. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of cheap books. It's a small show. And to all the people who asked me, why didn't I go to Cal Comic Con at Costa Mesa this year? It was Sunday. It's because it's not what it used to be. And Ant didn't tell me he was going. Laura,
I thought you guys talk. I just assumed you guys were like on a chat or something, but
no. I was tagged in a picture with like, hey, look who I found. And I was like, what the fuck, Ant? What's going on? I would have went maybe I wouldn't if it was Sunday. So it was like, it's weird. It used to be King of the Golden State was there too as well. It used to be a 2-day show. Now it's just a Sunday show. Our friends from Shortbox also, I think, are doing a lot of stuff with it. But I remember back in the day, and when it was in Yorba Linda, you could find really cheap books. It was in a small little room, and they had sidewalk sales, and you could find some cheap books. I remember seeing the drummer from System of a Down, who was the owner of Torpedo Comics, was there buying books. Rob Liefeld was there. Rob Liefeld was there buying original art. Believe it or not. Oh, shout out to Rob Liefeld for everything you do in the community.
Again, you're killing
but let me get back to the graphic here. But I remember that show was great, and I remember who was the guy? Oh God, the artist that does the painted stuff. It was weird because it was probably the smallest show, but CGC was always there. It was right. I mean, it was like there was like, because a lot of shows, you don't see CGC there, but CGC would always be there at this little show. And now it's like big, and King of Golden State can explain it in the live chat. How now they have like. Before there was no artists, there was no Funkos, it was just comic books. It was just comic books. I mean, it was a dope show. But if maybe I'll go next year. But
I'll tell Anthony, make sure he lets you know next time.
Yeah, Ant. You guys going to WonderCon?
I don't think so. We're doing Vegas. Then we're gonna be here for Phoenix Fan Fusion, but I don't think we're gonna do.
Yeah,
if you need any help at any of your booths, just
I'll be at WonderCon.
I'll get a flight out.
When is the Vegas show?
That is in April. I believe it's the 27th through the 30th.
Oof. Is it hot in April?
Probably. I mean, it's Vegas.
It's hot. It's Vegas, man. Yeah. Get out of here.
It gets cold in the wintertime, dude. Vegas gets really cold in the wintertime, believe it or not. But I've been told to stay away from casinos too, so I should probably not indulge my gambling addiction. Because if I go there, like everyone's like, Terrificon is at I believe at the San Manuel or whatever back east, and they're always telling me to go. Like, dude, I was like, before I buy any comics, I'd probably lose all my money playing blackjack. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. Static Shadows of Dakota #1 to Olivier Coppel. He's French. 1 in 100. Raw. We had a debate on his name. We had
a debate before it started.
But he's French, so I'm gonna say Olivier.
Olivier Coppel.
Olivier Coppel.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah. Anytime you say Olivier, you know what I'm saying?
You nailed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna name my son Olivier that I never had. All right, what do we got up next? You know what? I was just like gonna watch this movie the other day. It was on Netflix.
I've yet to see this. I need to watch it. Uncharted #1, but this is the Adam Hughes cover. Came out in 2011. This Adam Hughes variant has been sought after for years by collectors with highs reaching over 1,000 for a graded 9.8. Some of the hype around Uncharted, and therefore this book, greatly slowed once the film was released and was met with, shall I say, less than enthusiastic reactions from both fans and critics. Yet there's hope. This is renewed enthusiasm in this gaming community after The Last of Us has proven a true and almost direct adaptation of a well-written game that it can happen. That success has created significant market confidence. Where am I? For the Last of Us comic series, pushing it to new highs it's never seen before. Naughty Dog is known for many award winning games, with Uncharted being their best selling and best reviewed series of all time. Hopefully, this means that Uncharted can possibly get a new life on either the small or large screen at some point. Back to comic sales, though. This week's sale was a graded 9.0 for $400. And while not earth shattering, it is higher than the recent sales for a 9.4 and 9.2 copies, and supports that slight beginning of a rebound effect for this entire comic series. This variant does not pop up often, so we're curious to see what future listings will do, and if Uncharted can blaze a path back to the content that represents the amazing stories that games have already provided. Again, I haven't seen the movie. The fact that it's Adam Hughes, though, I'm already kind of sold there. But
I think
It's
the
not bad.
cover
It's
is cool.
it's not bad. I mean, it's weird seeing, Peter Parker playing another character, but you got Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch in it as well. So yeah, but the game is pretty in depth. It's like, man, you really need to pay attention to do that. I'm a button masher. I don't like solving puzzles or anything like that and craziness or open world.
You're the guy that busted your Rubik's Cube into pieces and then put it back together. Is that what you did?
No, I just took the stickers off and put some.
You took the stickers off. Ah.
it's just an equation you repeat.
Yeah.
over and
So this is, I've talked about this in the past, how Adam Hughes draws the feminine, the females really well. And in this instance, he actually draws a dude pretty well. There's other artists like that, like J. Scott Campbell, who draw fantastic women, but the men are a bit effeminate. But I will also say Adam Hughes's covers are a lot better than his internal art. His internal art is a lot to be, let's just say it's not as good as his cover art. I'll just leave it at that. But shout out to Adam Hughes. Uncharted #1 from November 30, 2011, $400 and 9.0. I wonder if we'll ever get a sequel. They should. Why not, man? They got the IP. I mean, that's interesting that, you got Peter Parker, who was Spider-Man, who is now a character in Uncharted, which is a DC comic. So interesting.
You haven't
All
seen
right.
it, though? Maybe you haven't either.
I have not seen the movie.
It's on Netflix.
All right, we all
Who's got time for that? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. I mean, there is some craziness with the plane and things falling out of it and crazy. Marky Mark is a bit of a meathead, but I think Tom Holland did well for it. There's a lot of people who always say the game is so much better than the film or series or whatever.
Well,
so,
Last of Us, have you played that?
No, I have not. I'm not into survival games. Yeah.
Ugh, Last of Us, they've done a really good job turning that into a show. I think that
I'm
when
really-
you're always kind of thinking, okay, it's not going to be exact, it's not going to be perfect, but I've been pleasantly surprised with the show.
I'm interested to see the God of War movie that's coming. And Dungeons and Dragons, which not related to comic books, but God of War, which I played, which was just crazy. And you know what? Sometimes I just go on YouTube and I just watch the animated the cutscenes. They're great. They're like you can splice them together and make a movie out of them. All right. So Uncharted #1, Adam Hughes, $400 and a 9.0. All right. Here's one that's really interesting.
All right, remember everybody, if you're watching this on the rewind, we're asking you to comment your favorite cover. Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Next up, we've got Vampirella Monthly, issue number 20, the Bruce Timm variant, originally published in 1999 from Harris Comics. Now, Bruce Timm may be synonymous with Batman and Harley, yet he's produced many highly desirable comic book covers outside of his iconic Batman art. His cover for this Vampirella issue is no different. Ever since the 90s, almost every top artist has done a Vampirella cover. Her iconic stature in comics and connection to one of the greatest comic artists of all time, the legendary Frank Frazetta, make for a subject matter that everyone wants to put their stamp on. These various covers also tend to be very rare. Now, Vampirella has never been a book with a heavy print run, even in the 90s, when heavily inspired characters like Witchblade claimed the market. Only select fans paid attention to her various series. For those reasons, Tim's variant is quickly escalating in price,
Well,
as
thank you.
seen by this week's all-new high sale of $350 for a raw.
Yeah, so Vampirella and Lady Death are, I think, two characters that artists love to draw. I mean, this one is probably one of the
Where they all
most tame.
start.
Yeah, this is one of the more tame Vampirella covers, if you know what I mean, But Lady Death, Vampirella, people love drawing them, because they're curvaceous and Vampirella monthly number 20, the Bruce Timm variant from 1999, $350 in a raw dog, and of course, my grill is number one.
Ooh,
Nice.
somebody was just talking about this in the chat too. So here we go. Vampirella number 1, published by Warren in 1969. Here we have another Vampirella cover, and it's most important that will stand the test of time. Frazetta was brought in as backup artist after European artist Aslan dropped out. Needless to say, Frazetta absolutely killed it, delivering a depiction of Vampirella that persists today, much like his depictions of Conan. Being her first appearance, it was important to get the look just so, and Frazetta sure accomplished that. Vampirella has gone on to become a cultural icon, selling thousands of books yearly with an ever-growing fan base. One fan recently surprised the community, pulling the trigger on a reported ungraded 9.4 copy
Damn.
for a whopping $2,600. The last time a reported ungraded 9.4 came to market was back in 2018, and it sold for only $225. That recent sale puts it in graded 8.0 to 8.5 territory, and if the assigned ungraded grade is accurate, it could reset the market if it is slabbed and released onto the aftermarket. Fitting as Vampirella continues to grow in popularity, as do the premiums of high-grade copies, as darker covers are notoriously tough to keep in shape. Potentially, this fan could have even got a spectacular deal if anything ever comes from the film and television rights being sold. While Vampirella already received a film adaptation back in 1996, this is a new day
Awful.
and age where the character could truly come to life on the big screen or small screen.
Yeah, that Vampirella was that was an awful movie. I remember
Yeah, it
it.
was pretty
It was like she was like a queen of the B movies. I forgot her name, but interesting fact.
I want to talk about this book. This book, $2,600 for raw.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if it's color touch? What if it's trimmed? What I could never. I wanted the chat, and if you're watching on the rewind, what's the most expensive book you've ever bought raw?
It depends on the seller too, though. Like if you're doing your research and you're going through and seeing what the seller has and what their rating is and reading the reviews and you trust the seller, like I don't know. I would buy this as if like for example, you or TiVo said, okay, Laura, this is a 9 to a 9.4, then okay. But would I buy from a random eBay seller promising that? No.
Well, they have eBay protection too, that pretty much you can return anything you want, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. Just to be factual, Vampirella is actually from a planet called Draculon. If you didn't know that, so she's not really a vampire, but she does like the blood.
How many people do you think will choose this cover as their favorite in tonight's show?
I don't know, man. But if you guys stick around, we're gonna do a trivia question. Also. After the video post, we're going to give away something in the live chat. And then on next Tuesday show, we're going to give away something from Near Nirvana. So after the video post, tell us what your favorite cover was or a comic was on this week's list. It could be on this one or what we go through as I seamlessly transition over
the seamless
to
transition that is TiVo's production skills on display.
Yeah.
Shout
That's
out to everybody in the chat. We've got a couple new names, and people are answering the question. Frank says, no, I'm sorry. Shayna says $100 is the most she's ever spent. That Vampirella 1 in 100 is Frank redoing this cover.
Yeah.
There's
All
so
right,
much
let's see what-
knowledge in our chat.
Yeah. Let's see what's shaking today, boys and girls. You can tell CovrPrice has revamped their website a little bit. You can shop by lists, hot comics, top heat comics, rare finds, top variants. So this is the top 10 that'll be covered on Tuesday. DC dominated, obviously, with the James Gunn announcement. These are the most units sold. I told you this Authority book was going to move because they announced an Authority series that's coming. Red Goblin.
I'll
Good
believe
Lord.
it when I see it on the Authority. I want to see like it actually happen.
The Authority is a pretty good read. I think Warren Ellis, right? Yeah, Warren Ellis. But we're see what's shaking today, boys and girls. Wow, returning champion. Remember, a lot of people were commented.
Champion,
Yeah, a lot of people commented that the X-Men 101 was their favorite. So maybe they watched our show and they were buying issues up. But you never know, man. But come on now, Casper the Friendly Ghost, get out of town. 1949. Oh,
is this the first appearance though? Is this the
first
one?
comic appearance of
Yeah.
Casper the Friendly Ghost? First appearance and origin of Baby Huey and Herman the Mouse. Raw Dog, $4,795.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. If you ever seen the live action movie, it is really weird. Christina Ricci's in it.
Devin Sawa's in it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because
I had a crush on him.
he has like a romantic thing with Christina Ricci. I don't know. It's weird, man.
Yeah,
Don't skip over that Golden Age Batman. Don't you dare skip over that Golden Age Batman. Get in there.
3,700 for a 6.5. Batman
From
number 12.
1942.
Wow.
This is the anniversary issue. War saving bonds and stamps. Keep them rolling. 3,700.
The
for
yellow
6.5.
popping off of that cover. What is that? A 6.5 from 1942.
That's crazy. That's a damn good.
Look at the
grade.
most common sale is a freaking 0.3 to 1.0.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
For
Yeah, in the
$800.
golden age, DC, if you think of Action Comics #1, Superman #1, they all had golden covers. So it was pretty trippy, man. What's up with this Iron Man?
Yeah, what's
Let's
up with
see.
that? What's going on with
Invincible
that?
Iron Man number 80. Oh, look at that. So, man, Bob
Interesting
Layton,
cover, but what?
1,600 and a 9 point.
From
in
19, I don't get what?
And a 9.8. So I'm in the live chat. Let me see.
There's got to be something going on with that.
Some in the live chat break it down and why this is in there. I didn't get a chance to research it, but there is somebody knows something. Reading in the tea leaves. Mario, it's a me. Come on now, women couldn't be a shaker show without these romance comics. Women in love. My hush days. I paid for my lie. My scarred love. Redheads. Raw Dog. $1,150 in a Raw Fear 5.0 to 6.5. That's pretty rare.
I started looking some of these up because I peruse the Shakers list pretty often. There's a lot of these love comic books in there. They're pretty popular, man.
Yeah, love and horror is all that is. Yeah, this is the Crypt of Terror number 18. CDC 5.5 sold for 5.5 for $1,600. Comics that have a key appearances or a low print
Yesterday
run have always been in demand. Yeah, because a lot of these comics were destroyed because of the seduction of the innocent. Right? They were telling their kids, hey, before the EC Comics Authority, they said, these comics are bad for kids.
Bingo.
What's the bingo?
Iron one? Yep, there you go.
CovrPrice. Now let's put that in there. I don't know if you can put that in there as a key factor, but that's fantastic. And only 2 9.8s on the census. Thanks for being in the chat, CovrPrice. Appreciate you guys. Hey,
Thanks, Matt.
Matt.
Hey, speaking of static, here's a static
the
book.
one.
Yeah, but this is the one that's this is the platinum issue. This is the one I have here.
That's it.
Yeah, this is the one in the bag. Collector's edition polybagged. $56
What could-
Raw Dog.
What could
That's
James Gunn do with a character like this? Come on, man.
He
All
was
kinds of
essentially
stuff.
like modeled after Peter Parker too. So there's so much they can do with that character.
So
Yeah.
he's the DC Miles, which I saw that comment earlier. But again, what could Peter gonna do with him?
Speaking of video games, The Last of Us American Dreams, issue #1 from Dark Horse. You got Ellie ready to kick some ass. First comic appearance of Ellie in The Last of Us in comics predates the first The Last of Us game. Wow. $640 for it. So this came out before the game.
Yep.
Interesting. See? I do believe Near Nirvana did a show about that as well. So you had to check out Near Nirvana. I actually have this.
Let me see.
Boom. See, I even says it's marked here. $575 for 9.2. Damn. Somebody in September is 2,700 bones. My buddy who owns LCS, he knows that I'm into magazines and horror covers. So anytime he was getting Vampirella or Master of Kung Fu or any of those horror books, I said, just put them aside. Ask me first, and I'll get it. First appearance of Sabretooth. I just watched that Wolverine movie the other day too, so you don't have to.
There was an example of go to that Black Cat #1.
Oh yeah, this one caused a controversy from
Right.
the people who were just stupid. Black Cat issue #1, J. Scott Campbell, cover G, the Felicia's Loft Virgin variant, 9.8 for $525. People,
Damn.
That's
it was people were coming out of the woodworks talking about nobody can pose like that, blah 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 blah, and then people were like, yeah, I can pose like this. Like it's a comic book. It's picture word. It's funny books with picture words. But I mean, stop it. Just stop.
Whoa.
It.
What's that Amazing Spider-Man #6 going on in there? Why is that?
That's people.
Momoko.
That's Peach Momoko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Peach Momoko. Oh no. Do you know what that means?
I have that book.
Do you know what that means though?
What does it mean?
Say it. Oh, here it comes.
I have invoked the name of Peach Momoko, so that means this.
Hey guys, it's Lou here, your out-of-shape comic book collector, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of What to Put in Your Box.
Oh man, you're not gonna believe this, dude. Your book came back a 9.8.
A 9.8 karate kick! Oh. Hey guys, it's Comic Lou here, and this is another episode of our Top 10, where the comics we talk about, ironically, are on my eBay store. And I'm here, joined by the comic sensei from Alaska himself, Kevin.
What's up, guys? We got our top 10 books. This is on our top 10 here. It's Peach Momoko.
Peach
Interesting.
Momoko!
Wanna take a look?
I love Peach Momoko. I love Peach
Dude, dude, it's my book. Dude, stop! It's my book! Dude, stop!
Man, I'm T-Ho from Lords of the Short Box. Screw that guy, British style. Yo, DJ Curse Words, kick it.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things are going.
Man, what the fuck is that?
The way that things are going.
That's good stuff. That's really good stuff.
We got to ask our question. You start a start line here.
There's that Peach right there. So we got a question here. I want to give away this Amazing Spider-Man issue #6 Legacy variant, Legacy 900. It's the 1 in 50 variant. And Tebow's going to ask a question. I hope we vetted this question, or we're just going to take his word for it. So we're going with Tebow's answer.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Laura and I are not so convinced.
No,
We're
it is.
We're going
Down
with
to
right.
Tebow. Just
All right.
trust it.
Let's get a starting line in
Who
there.
was Peter Parker's first girlfriend?
I want to see what the chat says. Let's give this a second.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the responses from the chat.
Peter Parker's first girlfriend, guys.
And
And
I
yeah,
will be,
it's a big one for the show.
that's a 1 in 500 peach I just showed you. I bought that for $2. I bought that for $2.
Nope, not Gwen Stacy.
That's we talked about that.
Aunt May, you pervs.
Rudy put in
No, they got it. Son of a bitch.
Yep. Who got it?
Hold on. Go
Betty
all the way
Brant.
up.
Uncanny
Joey,
X.
the stunt
that's what I had
master.
to.
Joey the stunt master. Yes. Betty Brant, Amazing Spider-Man, number 4. Peter Parker's first girlfriend, not the love of his life. His love of his life is Gwen Stacy, but he had a girlfriend, and she worked at the Daily Bugle. And that was his first girlfriend, Betty Brant. So shout out to you. Hit up JB, and you get to that. We like giving back to the community, man. So congratulations.
Giving back to the community.
That's a deep dive right there. If you know Betty Brant,
Joey, reach out to me on Instagram. Same right there. Boom right there. Reach out to me. I need your address. That's coming to you, my friend, free of charge.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you being in the chat. And if you're watching the show on the rewind and you missed the live, you're not left out. We're doing another giveaway on Tuesday. You do not have to be present to win, but you do got to comment on this video. Comment what your favorite comic book cover was that we showed in today's show to be entered into Tuesday's giveaway.
Like and subscribe. Get us to 8,000, and we're going to give away even more stuff. We're close to 8,000 subs. So, keep on trudging on till we get to 8,000. So make sure you guys sub up, and make sure you sub up near Nirvana. Laura, any last words?
Tomorrow's night, I won't be there for that show, but they're doing like a Black History Month show. So you'll have Lucas and Black Comic Lords is going to be there. So go and support Near Nirvana. And give this show a thumbs up if you haven't already. I don't know where we're at on that, but
yeah. JB, any last words?
I'm going to pander to this crowd that I love. Thank you again, this fantastic live crowd. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you're not following me on Instagram, please consider following me on Instagram. I do got a YouTube channel, and I do sell on that app that we don't discuss. As always, that's it. Don't forget, we had a good time.
Yeah, so make sure you leave your favorite cover on the comment section, not in the live chat, okay? So that we can give away some stuff on Tuesday's show. It'll be Valentine's Day, so I'm pretty sure my girlfriend will understand if, we go live or not. I'll have to make it up to her and buy her some flowers. So, until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in those long boxes. Until then, that's it. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my god.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is In this, you shall know that the Lord is
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?